them, they'll give me a really fast answer, right? It's always like, oh, I'm broke. Oh, I'm so in debt. Oh, like I'm super stressed out about money. Or like, oh man, like I'm just unsure of this. And they have a very quick answer. And what that tells me is that's very top of mind for them. And that's what they're thinking about the most. And so if half of your day you're spending thinking about how you're broke and $1,000 would mean the world to you, and you're kind of desperate for sales, when you get into a sales situation, that mindset and that emotion and that energy, I really do believe reflects onto the person that you're talking to, right? And so I'm not saying you have to be rich to start a business, but if you're constantly stressing about money, you're going to attract people who are stressing about money as well. And when you start talking about money with those prospects, you're not going to be able to help them with their fears because you're scared of it yourself, right? Like you can't help other people until you've learned to help yourself. So for me, the biggest mindset shift is every single morning I meditate and I really try and be aware of how I'm feeling and what I have going on in my mind and like what I'm stressed about, and getting that right and getting that out of the way in the morning before I get in sales calls. So like somebody was like, well, Bryan, like I'm broke and that's why I'm starting my agency. Dude, that's like two disconnected things. Like I personally don't think it's smart to say I have $0 in my bank, I'm going to start a business. Unless like you have a lot of previous business experience. There's obviously exceptions, right? Obviously exceptions there. But if you're a young entrepreneur and you're really just getting started in the business world and you think, yeah, like I'm broke, so I'm going to start a marketing agency, it's probably not going to go very well for you. I think you'd be better off going and finding a job that's maybe even if it's just part-time, so that you feel comfortable in your financial situation, not rich, but that you're not stressed about it every day. Does that make sense? I kind of rambled a lot there, but let me know if that made sense.
No, it made perfect sense. I mean, just as far as the aspect of, I'm just going to pull out one point that you say, as far as meditation. I mean, a lot of people really don't think that, meditation is important. I know actually that's something that I actually been trying to develop now. My wife always gets on me all the time as far as, making sure that I meditate. But actually, I just said the other day, I was like, man, I'm so busy. I got this to do. I got this to do. And then actually, Dean, he's listening to us right now, but, he kind of just stopped me in my tracks. It was like, well, pretty much you're right now saying that you don't have time. So obviously, kind of just like you said, like people that, want to start a business and they're saying they're broke. And he's like, man, it just doesn't, pretty much mix up. It's like you really have to find out a way, how you can implement that in your, in your time, in your life. Just like, you're talking about these business owners and not having enough money. It's like you need to find out a way to get money. Don't constantly keep thinking about it. So, that's,
Yeah.
I'm actually, trying to, I am reevaluating my time now and figuring out how I can, to implement, meditation and everything. Because actually, before I even got into this realm, my wife was always big on meditating, and she actually, she teaches our kids. She's teaching our kids how to meditate as well. And actually, that's something that I need to, participate in. Because obviously, just meditation is just, just having, a still, quiet moment. And a lot of people don't have, especially because you rush all the time, and just I mean, you're always going. So, I mean, if you're always going, then obviously you really don't have time just to sit down and think, and that's pretty important, in our realm, especially, just being an entrepreneur. That way you can plan, make goals, and do everything, because it's not just, your goals. Because obviously, I know that I don't know if you have anybody employed at, actual employees at your company, but I'm pretty sure just you and Sebastian are the only ones working, because that's a lot. I mean, I know y'all have a lot to do as far as, just the fact that you have, 40K, worth of revenue coming in. So obviously, your goals and your visions are not just yours, but I mean, it's everybody that's working for you. So that's interesting,
Exactly.
as far as meditation. But let's, I guess, just tell us something that you believe in. You kind of already told us, touched on this, but I'm pretty sure, I might know what you're going to say, but I'll just let you say it and talk about it. So what is something that, you would attribute to your success, or being a huge part of your success, that, most entrepreneurs don't agree with?
Okay, this is a good one. that most entrepreneurs don't agree with. I would say most of the people listening to this call probably aren't ready to be an entrepreneur yet. And that's hard to hear. Like, it sucks hearing that. And what I mean by that is, like, I don't think it's fair for somebody to not give to the world and put in the time and like really work on being a good person, and then going into the world and asking for 5K a month, 10K a month type contracts. And what I mean by that is, like, I worked in full-time sales jobs for 2 years before I even considered branching out and like having sales be part of like being an entrepreneur, right? And so I worry a lot when we see a lot of people who go from like working a job that didn't really give them very many life skills, or they're still kind of immature in life, or they really haven't had any business experience, and expect to go from that to making 40K a month in 3 months. It just doesn't work that way. I think like you can do side hustle things, and that's great. Like, I think everybody should. It's good to be proactive, but I also think it's important to be realistic. And if somebody has zero business experience, they have zero sales skills really, they haven't really sold high ticket contracts before, then they expect to go from that to 40K a month. It doesn't work that way. So I would say probably, like, again, like, you just need to be very aware of yourself and be very realistic with yourself. And if you're sitting here thinking like, damn, I suck at sales, but I want to be an entrepreneur, like, that's awesome. Like, hold on to that, but either go get a sales job and learn sales on somebody else's dime, so you're not going bankrupt trying to get good at sales, or like shift gears and figure something else out that you're really good at. Like, if somebody listening to this is like, wow, like, I hate sales, I'm an introvert, I'm really scared about sales, but I love like Facebook ads, then it's like, dude, awesome. Like, own that, get really good at Facebook ads, and like find a business partner who's good at sales and make something happen. So I know that's kind of a lot of thoughts all over the place, but takeaway there should be like, you need to be very honest with yourself and your capabilities and where you're at in life. And then once you have like really done an honest assessment of yourself, then make an action plan from there. But then on top of that, like, I would say you need to have a better reason for starting a marketing agency or being an entrepreneur than financial freedom and like laptop lifestyle. If somebody was like, Bryan, I'm starting this business because I want to be financially free and have a laptop lifestyle, that's okay for the start, but you're going to need to develop a better reason than that. And you need to have better motivation than that. And you just won't get very far if money's the motive. Like, Mike, you have a family, like, you care way more about your family's well-being than the money that you're bringing in. Obviously they correlate, right? But you have a bigger motive than I'm going to buy a Lamborghini one day.
Yeah, of course. You know, those are excellent points that you brought up, because most of the time, you know, a lot of people don't hear that. I mean, a lot of people really aren't talking about this, especially, you know, in I guess the upper people that, you know, are just trying to, you know, make a buck selling the course. It's like, yeah, this stuff is easy. I have a couple of students that grew from, you know, 0 to 40K in 40 days. So, you know, they just want everything to, you know, just rhyme and, you know, just be, you know, pretty much I understand what they're doing, but I mean, you know, just trying to, you know, sell a product, which, I mean, there's really nothing wrong with that. But I mean, the thing is, you know, you really got to dig deeper. See it. I mean, that's the whole aspect of everything. You know, you have two lines, just like we said. You know, you got to start from beginning. You don't see the, you know, the process in the middle. They really don't tell you, you know, how hard, you know, the process is. And you know, everybody wants just end results, and they really don't want to go through the process. But that's interesting that you touched on sales, because actually I saw a post earlier, maybe about 2 or 3 months ago, right, kind of when I was getting into the arena and into the realm of, you know, social media marketing. And this guy said, you know, I guess last year, he said, you know, he saw all the success stories, kind of just like we're talking about. And then he said, yeah, he said, you know, I tried to do the same thing everybody else was doing, but then he said, you know, I realized, and I had to step back. And he said, I needed to learn, you know, about sales. He said, I needed to learn about, mindset, because he said I really didn't have the right type of to mind to go into this arena. He said, if I did get a client, he said I ended up losing them. And he said clients just didn't come, easy to me. And actually, I got it right here on the wall. I don't know if you know Owen Lutz or not, but I'm pretty sure I don't know if you've seen him or heard him. I don't know. But actually, he told me, he gave me something to say, man. He said, you need to say this pretty much every day. And, it just talks about sales and kind of like affirmation or whatever, just affirming that, what's going to happen, what's going to happen. It's kind of I guess he kind of reminded me of doing that, because I used to do a lot of that stuff, in the past. But and my wife is also big on that. I know I touch a lot on my wife, but I mean, she's actually, the number one reason for my success. The reason why we're having this interview now is actually because of her, because, she's always behind me, pushing me, encouraging me, and doing everything, that pretty much that I guess a coach or cheerleader would, as far as, just or a trainer, coach, however you want to look at it. But, she's a big reason for my success. And the reason why I'm on here right now is because, she's pushing me. Because, I mean, you asked me, actually, I told a couple of people this. I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but the thing is, I last year I saw a post, because I've been doing a lot of stuff, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, everything like that. And I actually saw a post, and the guy was like, hey, he said, if you want to actually, jump out of your job, or if you want to really supplement your income, he said, you really need to think about, being an agent for, just running ads and going into, doing agency stuff and kind of consulting for businesses and stuff like that. And I looked at him, I was like, man, come on, man. I was like, man, I ain't doing that, man. There's no way I'm doing that. Because I know you touched on introverts, and I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert by heart. I mean, I really, probably maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I told my wife, is like, man, what's the point of people? It's like, we really don't need people. But now I'm trying to get into, all kind of circles and everything. So, and that was her. She was like, Mike, you got to understand that, in order to succeed, you're going to have, people around you. So, I mean, I guess I'm kind of, going all over the place too. But I mean, I guess the main point is that, you need to, just step back and realize, it's like, well, what do I need to do as far as you social media marketing agency owners out there? You need to step back and say, well, why am I not having the success that everybody else is having? What, skill set do I need? What other, capabilities do I need to make myself, business? Because right now, I'm actually in, my job solely, because I still work my 9-to-5 job, is actually geared more towards just being isolated, because it's a lab tech. So pretty much that's what I do, is like, I want to come to work. I pretty much tell everybody, just leave me alone, let me do my job. And the thing is, I guess I just want to stay isolated and focused. But now I have to come out here and do interviews and talk to people, talk to clients, get on the phone. And it's like, hey man, I'm pushing myself. But I guess that's just another thing. But actually, this interview with you, I don't want to take over. But I mean, it's just, you touched on some good points. And then as far as just having a bigger goal, I mean, Rob Quinn talks about that all the time. He's one of my mentors. And the thing is, you got to have a bigger goal. And I know he did an interview with Akbar Sheikh, and he talked about how Akbar, just one day he looked, and he looked over, I guess he saw a commercial or something, and I guess it was for a significant, I don't remember the exact amount, exact numbers, but he said that he could the commercial said if you gave a certain amount, you would be able to help, I guess, a child or a group, a community overseas or something. And then he looked over at his shampoo bottle and he was like, man, my shampoo costs more. One bottle of shampoo costs more than like feeding the whole community. He said that's where he realized, he's like, I got to have a bigger goal. He was like, man, I'm already making all this money and stuff. And he's like, I got to start doing stuff, to help everybody else out, help other people out. So that's, interesting that, you touched on that. Because I guess a lot of people see, all these agency owners and stuff like that. I guess we can, talk about this too. But I mean, it's like, all these people, it's like, why do they need more money? It's like they already have, enough money. It's like, especially these little kids, these little teenagers, it's like they're making all this money. It's like they don't even know what to do with it. So, I mean, obviously, we just had Bryan here say that, you need to have a bigger goal, not think specifically about yourself and just finances and money. You need to actually think about, helping other people. So I don't know if you want to just go on, more into that or not. So,
Yeah, it's something I've been learning about recently. Like one of my mentors right now, Taylor Welch, talks a lot about how he feels like, and this is something I believe as well, that like once you develop yourself and you build skill sets that allow you to help other people, and helping translates into more income, right? And that goes back to, if you don't have the skill sets yet, go learn them, then be an entrepreneur, right? Like if you don't have extraordinary skills yet, like you need to learn them, then you'll start making money, right? Your income's a reflection of the value you bring to the marketplace. So the point is, once you start bringing income in, it's because you're providing value to other people and you're helping other people. And it's really selfish. For me, I feel like it's selfish for me not to go make money. And what I mean by that is I could easily just be like, cool, like I'm comfortable where I'm at, like time to kick it, let's go on vacation. But that's like really selfish. By me not continuing to go out into the marketplace and looking for business owners to help, to look for other people to help, I'm like, not only am I costing my future family money, but I'm also hurting the economy. And I really feel like it's my duty to make a lot of money so I can help more and more and more people, because I have the ability to. And so the money, right? Like, yeah, like it will eventually translate to buying a home and all of those things. But if I just stopped where I'm at, I honestly believe there'd be thousands of people out there that I wouldn't be able to help. And so by continuing to strive to increase my revenue, I'm also helping more business owners. I'm helping more agency owners. And I'm able to have an impact on the world. And I really feel like it's my duty to do that. So that correlates in a lot with my whys and my motives. But once you have a skill set that really can help other people, it's really your duty, in my opinion, to go help those people and to go find them.
Yeah, that's good. You said that. I wrote down two key, statements that you made as far as, helping brings more money. And also, income is a reflection of the value you provide. So, that's interesting, because I guess I heard, what's his name? Jim Rome. I heard Jim Rome say that. It's like, you want to make more money, it's like you need to, provide more value to the community. But as far as, I guess just, everybody wants to be, as far as, in the social media marketing realm, where there's not even that, other business owners, everybody, especially now, Gary Vee always talks about how, I guess, right now in the space that being an entrepreneur is, popular. So the thing is, I guess I guess according to your words, what is I guess one reason why people fail? I mean, why don't people meet their goals? Why don't they pursue their goals? Why don't they walk in their dreams and their goals? What do you think that reason is?
I would say for the overwhelming population, it's kind of like a two-part answer. Answer one, they don't invest into themselves and like truly invest into themselves. And then two, they don't work hard enough, like frankly. And so what I mean by that is like the majority of that post where I was talking about how I got to 40K, what people don't see is the $15,000, $20,000 that I put in to get to that 40K, right? And so even though 40K is sexy, like, dude, I have expenses, I have taxes, like I have a business partner. I've only brought home $7,500 from the business, right? And so I would say people think that they can invest $1,000 and make $100,000. Doesn't work that way. To make $40,000, I invested $20,000. That's in the form of ads, mentors, primarily books, trainings, things like that, right? People's time. So people neglect the investment big time. They expect to take out more than they put in, and that's a recipe for failure. And then two, they don't match their work ethic with their goals, right? If you only want to work 2 to 3 hours a day, that's fine. Just understand you're probably not going to make more than a few $1,000s a month. It's just how it is. Right? Eventually, like obviously there's plateaus and places where like things like that start to even out. But because the majority of our audience here is more in that beginning stage, like the sub 10K a month mark, you need to realize that you have to invest very heavily into yourself. And then two, you have to take the things that you learn from that investment and work ridiculously hard. So if you're somebody and you can't get clients, like you're just struggling to get clients, it's probably because you suck at outreach and you suck at prospecting, or you're not working hard enough. If you suck at prospecting and you suck at outreach, but the work level's there, then dude, you need to invest and pay somebody to teach you how to do what you're not doing right. If your work ethic's not there, it's because your motive sucks and you only think about money, and nobody can help you with that but yourself. So again, it goes back to like being very self-aware, right? If you truly look at yourself and you say, yeah, like I spent 4 hours every single day this week, like prospecting very hard. Like I made X amount of phone calls, I sent X amount of emails, X amount of messages, and it's high numbers, over 100 on each one of those, and you got nowhere. It's because you suck at prospecting, frankly. But if you get to the end of the week and you're like, oh, damn, I called 20 businesses and none of them are interested. It's like, dude, shut up. Like, you're not unsuccessful because you don't have the right script. It's because you're not working. And nobody can help you with that but yourself. So again, it goes back to being self-aware. If you're doing the right amount of work but you're not getting results, it's because you're not doing the work well. If you're not getting results and you're not doing enough work, it's because your motive sucks, and nobody can help you with that but yourself. So.
Yeah, that's good you said that, because a lot of people, just as we touched on before, they don't see, what the amount of work you put in or the amount of money you put in. They're just looking at, the end results. And yeah, I spent, I guess, a significant amount as well, as far as, investing, not just on, just the social media aspect or marketing part of everything, but also just the fact that the time that I invested in other businesses and stuff, because this isn't, really my first business. I've done a lot of, I guess, multi-level marketing businesses and stuff like that. So, that was time invested, and as far as the books and stuff you read too, everybody says that, well, I know one particular person says that the fact that, when you're investing into a person, or when, you talk to a person, you're pretty much getting everything that they've acquired from the mentors, whether books or, whether live mentors, or whether going to seminars and everything like that. So that's pretty interesting that you touched on that. And just the fact that, people really don't want to work that hard. I mean, there's a lot of, lazy people out there in the world that just pretty much just want to stuff to come to them. And they think that, they can just, I guess, sit back in the chair and just, imagine, or I guess the big thing now is, the secret. But the thing is, you have to have action. So, I mean, yeah, you got to have the manifestation, you got to have the vision, the dreams and everything like that, but you have to take action with that. So that's interesting. You say there's two things always, it's not just one particular thing, that I guess helps one entrepreneur get to where they are. Or, in your case, scale to 40K. I mean, we already heard you say you invested a lot, you put a lot of time in it, you have a business partner. So, I mean, there's a lot of, moving facets to, how you get to where you get when you get successful, when you meet your goals. There's just a lot in there. So, I guess this leads us to our last question. It's kind of a laid back question. Some people don't think it's laid back, but I say it's kind of, thought provoking. But I guess if you had one superpower, you might have been asked this before, but if you had one superpower, what would it be?
Definitely to be able to read people's minds.
Read people's minds. And then I guess, what's the reason for that?
It like you could rule the world if you could know exactly what people were thinking that were around you, right? Like I just think about some of the sales situations where I've been in, and I know like people aren't being fully honest with me, and sometimes like extracting the truth out of people is a difficult process. So it'd be really awesome to be like to know exactly what their fears are, and know exactly what they're thinking, just so that I can help them better, right? Biggest reason I can't help people is because they don't tell me what's wrong. And so being able to read their mind and know exactly would be a game changer. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's interesting, because we went from mindset to reading mind. So developing your mind to reading mind. So yeah, but obviously, yeah, that would help, especially in sales and everything, how to, I guess, do a selling point, particular selling point. So I've heard, a couple of people say, read minds. But thank you for joining me for this interview today. And as you know, you heard it. We went from, mindset. So really, I guess the key takeaways that I got, were just pretty much, developing your mind. And then I guess we want to touch on, I guess, just as far as how can people reach you? I mean, you can either send me a link or just, obviously you can't type it in here now. I kind of got a new setup. But actually, yeah, I'll put a link in here how Bryan can actually, you guys can reach Bryan if you have any questions as far as, if you want to any questions with sales or just, in the scaling process, because I guess a lot of people don't think that, there's a lot of moving parts. So they think that they can just run all the ads or, do everything themselves. So I guess if you need help in developing a team and anything like that, you can reach out to Bryan. And he can, I'm sure he's more than willing to help you out. So.
Yeah, what I do, like part of the way I give back right now, is I open up a few 1 to 2 hours every single day that I allow like anybody to just like book a time with me to talk. There's like no pitch, no sales pitch or anything like that. I just very much enjoy like helping people, and like posts on Facebook are great, but I can make a lot of waves in somebody's life in a 45-minute conversation with them. So I'll send you that link. We'll put it in either in the description or in that comment. But if any of you need help, like with your mindset, you feel like you're stuck, if you're not sure if like being an entrepreneur is the thing for you, if you want to talk through improving your sales, you can grab that link, book a time. We'll have a 45-minute chat. I promise, like there's no sales pitch. It really is just like genuine love and support and help that I want to provide. So.
All right, thanks. So you guys reach out to Bryan, and you heard what he said. No sales support. So it's pretty much just free advice from a guy that's making already $40K a month. So well, at least the agency is. So just reach out to him, ask him questions, and there you have it. So thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, hashtag live, hashtag replay. Well, the live's gone now, so I guess your hashtag replay. So thanks again for Bryan, for tuning in, and you guys have a good one, and we'll be back shortly. All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, Bryan. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. That was awesome.
All right.
And
yeah, you can actually just send me all your information and message.
Yeah, I'll Facebook message you that link right now.
All right. And then actually what I've been doing, I guess, with people that come on the interviews, I want to keep track of the traffic and everything. So actually I'm putting those links in, I guess it's like a link tracker or whatever. And then I can determine how many people because of our interview, how many people clicked the links and went to, your website. Well, I won't be able to determine how, but I can tell how many people clicked the link. So.
Cool, man. I just messaged it over to you on Facebook.
All right. Appreciate it, Bryan. Thanks again, man. And let me know if you need anything, any help, whatever, I'm still beginning. So, but I know I'll be leaning on you. So if I had any questions or anything, because actually Dean was the one, I guess, I don't know. How did you get back in touch with me? Because I was talking to Sebastian, and I won't say he brushed me off, but I guess he was trying to sell me a course or a new course that he had. And I talked to him and I asked him that I wanted to do an interview. And then he told me to reach out to you, but I never really heard anything back from him. So, but how did you get in touch with me? Did he tell you to Dean? Because I know you had an interview from Dean.
No, I just saw one of your posts and I've seen you working, so I just shot you a message. But
oh, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Well,
if there's anything I can do for you.
What'd you say?
Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. All right.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
You as well, brother.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.